Welcome to the Mike on Much podcast. I am your host, Mike Veerman. I am here with my friend and producer, Max Kerman. Max, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Also, we're doing a 3-man pod opening today. We have our friend and pop culture aficionado, Shane Cunningham. Shane, how is it going?
Always feels good to be invited to the Off the Top segment.
Well, this is actually a special one because I know we all know this, but our listeners might not know this. Yesterday was actually Max's birthday. Happy birthday,
Oh,
Max.
thank you. Actually, I'm not doing that good. I had a big old night in Hamilton. Jeez, people buy you drinks, when it's your birthday.
How old are you now? 35, 36-ish?
I'm 29.
Whoa, okay. I overshot that a little bit.
Yeah, no, it was a good night. We went to this restaurant called The Mule, and it's a Mexican place. Ooh. I had my favorite drink. It's a Mexican Mexican mule.
Clearly your favorite. That
Your old haunt.
Yeah, your all-time fave drink, man. Old Trusty.
There's tequila and ginger beer in it. It was great. Yeah, I had a great time.
And typically you don't really drink a lot, right?
No, I really don't. I mean, because I hate being hungover. So, I'm really bad at being hungover.
For our listeners, Max is a real, he's actually, it's pretty inspiring how much of a go-getter he is. He likes to get up really early, he takes a couple coffees, he gets things happening during a day. So I feel like you personally are not, you don't want to go out late at night because it ruins your mornings.
Yeah, I always have a great time when I'm out. Like, I have an amazing time, but then it's just the next day and I'm full of regret because I'm just lying in bed. I can't power through. Some guys are really good at powering through when they're hungover.
I've built a career on it.
Well, not all Max.
Well, so today is that day.
Today I was in bed. Lauren got out of bed, and I had already, actually, drunkenly, I had made a smoothie ready to be blended up at like 3 a.m. And so Lauren got out of bed, and I was like, Lauren, there's a smoothie in the fridge. Blend it up and bring it to me. And she did. And it was great. Yeah.
That's
awesome.
really nice.
Yeah.
What did she get you for your birthday?
You know what? It was actually a really cool gift. She got me. She has no money. She's a student, and so she got this frame, and she put in. It looks way cooler than it sounds. A bunch of pennies that are like in a frame, and there's like. At the end, it's like a bunch of pennies in a frame. That's it. But it's based on.
You're one lucky guy.
But it's it's the amount of weeks we've been dating.
A penny for every week.
A penny for every week. So, yeah, it was cool.
How many pennies?
I have no idea. I don't even know how she knows. There's sort of undefined period in the beginning there. So
I heard last night for your birthday party so Shane and I were not at your party because Shane and I live in Toronto.
You couldn't make it. That's okay.
I missed 2 big parties in a row.
Yeah.
You did, and we'll get to that. But Shane, so we're also in this Facebook group, which we talk about quite a bit on this podcast. Mm-hmm. And so, were you watching the exchanges where they were going bar hopping to the different spots throughout the night?
Yeah, I always get jealous of those. I'm not sure about you, Mike, but I'm always kind of livid looking at them.
I was jealous last night for sure. But here's the thing. I heard something very positive came out of you and all the guys walking around last night. Do you want to explain this? My brother told me about this today, and I thought it was a brilliant idea.
Okay, so we've been kicking around this idea from the weekend, and basically we realized that if we all put aside $20 a month into a bank account, that'll equal $5,000 roughly a year for us to spend on our Facebook group, which is we call ourselves the Champagne Boys.
The listeners don't need to know that.
Okay.
we just sound like losers.
Yeah. Well, then somebody's like, let's take it a step further. Let's just buy a house. Because that could be money for a down payment on a house in Hamilton, and it would be like a hangout club. And then we could start selling memberships. So anyway,
we're buying a house?
Yeah, we're all buying a house.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But we're going to basically, it's going to be, I think it's going to be basically like a clubhouse, like the Little Rascals.
Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because there's definitely some guys that are like trying to buy houses with their girlfriends right now, like their first big house. And all those guys are like, we're buying the gang house. Like, we don't care, but I'll put the girlfriend stuff on hold for now. But everyone's really excited about Julian. Julian's girlfriend, Sam, works at CIBC and small accounts, so she's going to set up the account.
This is a legit thing. She's going to,
Wow.
so Julian's wife, Sam, is literally going to set up an account for us, and it will just take our money out every month.
It's a direct deposit, $20 a month, and that'll go into the Champagne Boys house fund.
I'm in on this, all in.
It's pretty
course.
good. And here's the other thing. I think it solves a lot of problems because whenever anybody hosts a party, the house inevitably gets ruined. Like as we've heard on the podcast, it's like last time there was a party at my place, I wasn't even there, and like the house was broken basically.
The nut threw Shane's glass at the wall, smashing it everywhere,
exactly.
and then everyone just laughed.
And then all the girlfriends just get mad because they're like, "Your stupid friends come over here and wreck the place," and then I have to clean it up.
And it's just one stupid friend, the nut.
Yeah, but he makes problems everywhere he goes. So, so this would actually solve the problems. We could have just our own place.
So, and when we sell the house, we all hopefully make a profit.
Yeah,
on it. If we ever do, we probably won't ever sell the house
no,
No.
that'll be our retirement.
because it's champagne boys till we die.
Inevitably, some of the Champagne boys are going to fall in hard times and want to move into the clubhouse.
That's fine. It's a safety net, you know?
Safety net. So we're actually investing in our future.
Yeah, oh, totally. Yeah, it's, it makes sense on so many different levels. Even Greg, who's a very cheap guy, and the idea of somebody taking $20 a month from him would not sit well. He was really into it, which really says something.
He's also banking on falling in hard times. See, this is his investment in his future.
That's his angle. Yeah.
Also, this was actually a big weekend for all of us. Mike D, who plays guitar for the Arkells in Max's band, he's getting married, and he had a big bachelor party this weekend. So a bunch of us went to Montreal.
Mm-hmm. It was very exciting.
So
Shane couldn't make it.
Shane couldn't make it. This is the second party Shane was saying he couldn't be at.
Shane, do you have any questions about the weekend? Because I know you don't like missing out on these things.
Yeah, I just wanted. Was it still good without me being there?
You know what?
Because I'm kind of like the party guy of the group, like very stripper type of person.
Very stripper type of person.
Yeah, that's the most articulate way to say it.
Well, I think in general, there's in terms of big personalities in our group, Shane and Dan Hamilton are both probably two of the biggest.
Yeah.
And so if anybody's presence is going to be missed, it would probably be those two guys, and both of them weren't there. That all said, we did have an amazing time. So we took a train up, and just like the excitement of a bunch of grown men taking a train together and like sneaking in liquor onto the train was like that of a bunch of like 13-year-old boys or something like that.
It was the funnest. It was like being back at camp in middle school or something.
Yeah. It was amazing. Al, my roommate, he was pouring drinks for everybody on the train.
He was the down low bartender.
Yeah, he was the down low bartender. And then he got confident later on because before he was doing it all sly.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the trip, he didn't care. He's like, who wants some gin? And then also we went go-karting. Have you been go-karting, Shane?
I love go-karts too. That's like my thing.
Oh, really? Because
Yes.
I'd never been.
Strippers and go-karts.
You
Don't combine those, by the way. It never ends well.
I don't think I've ever been in a go-kart. Maybe once, but I don't even remember. And I was this close to not even going to the go-karting part of the trip because I was like, I don't really care about go-karting. I'm not into like extreme sports. I don't do roller coasters. I don't do anything that's like seemingly dangerous, even though go-karts aren't really dangerous at all. But
extreme sports, man. Putt.
But I got super into it. And it was funny. Okay, so here's the thing. You know how, Mike, you say I'm sort of like an optimistic guy. I always think that
absolutely.
You can kind of. There's a part of me that thinks after one time go-karting, I could be a professional race car driver. It's like, and this happens to me a lot where I'll have a good game playing like pickup basketball. I'll be like, I could probably make the pros. I have this like very like irrational confidence about me.
Sure.
And so seriously, since go-karting, I've just been thinking about my life as a race car driver.
Wow.
And keep in mind, I finished 9th out of 17 people. So I wasn't even particularly good.
All right, guys. Let's talk about the main interview. Our guest today is Alessia Cara, who is obviously blowing up right now. She's hanging out with Taylor Swift. Her song's skyrocketing.
She performed with Taylor, actually.
She performed. Taylor interviewed her for something I think I saw afterwards. And you were here for this interview, Shane. That's why Shane's in the opening, and just because we enjoy his company.
This set the record for most talking Shane had done in an interview.
You did
with
pipe
a guest.
in. You piped in a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What was your impression of Alessia? Is that Alessia?
Alessia Cara.
Alessia.
I thought she was very down to earth.
Yeah.
And the reason I talk so much is because she made me comfortable.
Yeah, well, you know what? My mom said she heard Alessia Cara on CBC the other day, and she said, "Oh, this girl's she seemed really smart and really self-aware." And I told her, "Oh, Mom, Mike just interviewed her for the podcast." And listening back to the interview, it was so refreshing. And when you hear someone at this stage, you're just like, "Oh, I hope you don't lose this."
She's at the start of her journey, and you can tell there's an enthusiasm and an excitement, and it's like she's in an awesome place, and you kind of it was a great chance to talk to her at this moment.
I felt kind of stupid at one point because I guess I thought you would like this, but I'm like, she mentioned how she was on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, she talked about that.
And then I'm like, oh, this is great because with Carly Rae Jepsen, I missed an opportunity. She mentioned San Sebastian, and Mike's not one to talk about himself. But I meant to be like, oh, Mike was in a band called San Sebastian. But
You guys did shots together.
Yeah, but I lost my nerve to mention it. So I was like, don't. Anytime there's a door opening, you take it. So I was like, don't worry, Mike. No, you don't like talking about yourself. I got this. So she mentioned Jimmy Fallon. I was like, Mike actually looks like Jimmy Fallon. But then I could see that Mike did not like that at all because
I thought it was like a compliment. I thought it's like when people like it almost seemed like I was going around telling people I looked like Jimmy Fallon.
no, I was saying it, but it was like you didn't take it as like like a cool like compliment or whatever because I think he's known as very good looking talk show host, probably the best looking talk show host of all time, best looking SNL member of all time. So then she just looked at him, and then she was like, oh, maybe a young Jimmy. And then Mike just was like so happy, and then it felt like it ended on a really positive note.
That's cool.
So yeah, it made she's a very positive, says all the right things type of person.
We left it in the interview, and you can hear it right now. Let's get to it.
How have you been?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm well. Things are going crazy for you right now.
Yeah.
It's all exploding. It's all happening.
Definitely.
With everything sort of happening, what does a typical workday look like for you? Is there a typical workday?
You know what? Not really, which is kind of cool, but kind of strange because every day is different and I'm in a different place every day, different bedroom every day. I just wake up in a different place, meeting different people, doing different things. But it's essentially promo, and really right now I'm just trying to show my face to the world and show people who I am and kind of introduce myself. It's like an intro to all over the world, if that's what I had to describe it as.
Right.
But it's a different thing, a different intro in a different way every day.
When you started writing music and sort of performing music, and maybe as this became a viable career, is this sort of how you imagined it? Like every day, the sort of grind, being in a different place all the time?
Not really. I'd always hear artists say, like, I'm on tour now, but I didn't really know what that meant. I was like, okay, they're on tour. I don't know. But now it's like I realize that it's literally a different place every day. And I knew that it was hard work that goes into it, but I didn't realize how much. But it's not a bad thing. I think it's kind of cool that I'm getting to see all these places and, like, meet all these people. It's kind of, I don't know, it's fun.
Yeah, it seems exciting. And I guess, like...
It is a lot of hard work, but it's fun.
It's hard work, but is it matching sort of the expectations that one might have?
It is, yeah, definitely. I think it's not as glamorous as people think, especially in the beginning. Like right now, I'm living at home still, it's not like this crazy glamorous life that's perfect. It gets hard, it gets difficult. But I think as far as the fun side and the things that you get to do, it's more than I could have ever imagined it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are sort of reaching out for you to sort of like guest on songs. There's so much promo, like you said. There's tours happening. You're probably getting offered stuff all the time. How do you sort of manage those requests? Are you driving the ship? Is that something where you have sort of a team or management, your label? I mean, how do you sort of work through all that as you go through this process?
I'm really involved in everything that I do. So whether it's like collaborations or even up to my merch or all my social media I do, like I really want to be involved in everything that I do. So of course, like I always know about everything, and I think it is my team, but it's also if I really believe in something, like if someone comes to me and they want me on a song or they want me on their project and I really believe it and I'm a big fan, it's usually like something that I'll go up to my team and I'll tell them about, or sometimes I'll just ask people directly, like I'll talk to other artists directly and we'll figure it out, and then I'll of course talk to management about it. But it's like a team effort / if it's something that I really believe in that I want to do, then I'll go for it. But it's nothing too like formal. No, it's never, not yet anyways. It hasn't been for me. My experience has been kind of different, but I'm just
You mentioned your merch. Is that something where like the designs and everything about sort of how you represent it? Are you like super involved in all of that? I mean, do you design any of your own merch?
Yeah, this merch that I just put out recently, like I put out T-shirts and beanies, and like it's my writing. Like I tried to design. It's kind of weird and kind of messy, but it's me, so it's kind of cool. And I put that out. But I'll be putting out some more stuff. But yeah, definitely, it's either my design or something that I didn't really know how to draw, so I asked the design team to help me out. But
Right.
I definitely want to be involved in everything. I think it's cool to be involved in everything that you're doing, to make it like a whole package, because I think there's so much more than just music that comes with it.
It's all creative too, so it's sort of your
It's my
exercise that
field.
side
Oh
of your
yeah,
brain.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's so cool. Yeah, you get to learn so much about so many different things. But it's always good to have a team to help you out too in the beginning.
Your parents were mentioned, in a very positive way, sort of in your lyrics. Like, what did they do, or what do they do for a living?
They do so much. I mean, I think I am the way I am. If I'm a good person, it's because of them, and if I'm, polite and smart, it's because of them. And I think every good thing about me is because of them, because they just instilled so much good in me. from a young age, they've always just taught me to be polite. They were so strict about being polite and being good to people and hardworking, and those are the things that they just taught me and my brother for so long, that I think that work ethic that I have and that need to just be nice to people was because of my parents. And also they've given me just great advice throughout this whole thing, and they've been so supportive of me, like in the music thing, and they've just been sacrificing a lot for me to be here. So
Are they musicians at all?
no, that's why it's even more amazing, because they know nothing about the industry, but they're still being so supportive of it. Which
Like,
is
what do they
crazy.
do for an occupation?
My dad is a welder.
Okay, so is my
he works-
dad.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
seriously.
Cool. Maybe
yeah.
they work together.
Hamilton, Ontario.
Oh, okay, I don't know. I don't think my dad
No,
works in
no,
Hamilton.
no.
I think he works, I don't even know where anymore. It's near Brampton, like an area. Anyways, and my mom works as a hairdresser. So she
Oh,
does
cool.
people's hair. Yeah.
Very cool. And so they're completely outside of music.
Yeah.
How did you discover music? Like, when did you realize you sort of had this thing?
I think I never really knew I was good at it, but I knew that I loved it from a very young age. I just didn't really think much of it. I just thought that everyone liked music, and it's just something that I always loved secretly. And then as I got older, I started taking it more seriously once I started taking guitar lessons, and I never took vocal lessons, but I just started singing more and more, then doing YouTube videos, and just really developing this thing that I had. And once I started doing it for people and seeing the reaction I would get, it made me realize, like, okay, maybe I'm good at it.
I'm
Maybe
onto
I can
something
do it.
here.
Yeah, maybe I'm onto something, and maybe I'll just do this for a living, because it sounds pretty awesome. And I
Did you
like
find the guitar difficult to learn at first?
at first, but I learned pretty quickly, actually, surprisingly, because I think I was so persistent that, like, until my fingers would bleed, I keep trying and trying to get it. But it was hard at first. I sucked. And then I'm still, like, not the greatest, but I get by.
Well, there's sort of like, there's more freedom when you can play the guitar because you can sit down and write your own songs as
Oh, yeah,
opposed to
it's so
having
much
to
easier.
accompany with somebody or sit down, you know?
Yeah, and it's comforting, especially to start off live, because I didn't have to, like, I don't dance on stage or anything. I have my guitar. So it was easier for me when I started my first performances to kind of have that as a comfort thing, you know? It was easier. But yeah.
Was there a moment along the way, like you said, you started performing for people and you're like, maybe I'm onto something, when you sort of realized, like, shit, this is a viable career. Like, I could, like, actually do this.
Yeah.
Like, was there a moment specifically where it became real for you?
Again, I don't really know if it was like a specific moment, but over time, I slowly started realizing it. And once I started seeing that, you know, like looking online, reading, like looking at documentaries and seeing how these regular people, like a lot of these huge artists came from like hardships and all these hard times, and it was like, it seemed impossible for them, and they still did it. So I just kept thinking, like, why can't that be me, you know? Yes, it's 1 in a million, but that someone has to be that one person.
Yeah.
You know, I always used to tell my parents that, and at first it was hard for them to understand, but I think once they saw my persistence and once I realized, like, it could be a thing, I just really tried, and I thought, you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I have to try it, you know?
Were you going to, did you have sort of post-high school plans outside of music if things hadn't sort of started rolling?
I initially didn't, but my school had this weird thing. Well, not a weird thing. It's kind of, I guess, a good thing. But they have this thing where you have to apply to universities or post-secondary before you can graduate. So that's
Seriously?
part of the graduating process to apply. So I was like, but I want to do music. So I just applied to random courses like philosophy, psychology, and media production. 3 different things, but things that I was interested in. Like
And I think all
philosophy.
pertain to what you ended up sort of doing. Do you know what I
I
mean?
guess,
All
yeah,
three
to
of
a
those
certain
stuff,
extent.
yeah.
That's kind of true. Like, yeah, psychology and media production, I was really interested in that kind of stuff. So I thought, okay, those will be my plan Bs. And then I ended up actually getting a scholarship to Ryerson for media production.
Really?
Yeah, but I really wanted to try and get signed, so I was like, please, Mom, Dad, let me take a year off. Just a year. And then if I don't get signed, nothing happens, then I'll go to Ryerson to do media. And they're like, okay. And so I got signed.
Were they open to that, or was it a tough sell?
It was a tough sell, but I did it. And because I said, you know, I promise you in this year, it's only 1 year, and if in this year it doesn't work, then I'll go to school. So they're like, okay, you have 1 year.
Did you get close to the end of the year, your deadline?
It was kind of in the middle. It was pretty good. I'm just really glad. I was just waiting, like, please, somebody make me up so I can just prove everyone wrong.
You must have felt very vindicated to like.
Yeah,
It's
to
like
do it, you know, because I didn't want to go to school. I
Right.
really didn't. I felt like I didn't belong there, so I was just begging, like, please, somebody. And it worked, so thank God.
your lyrics, you know, they really resonate with people, you know, and sort of the things that you're singing about. Are you constantly sort of keeping a journal, taking voice memos? Like, what's your process for writing a song, cultivating an idea?
I think now because I'm traveling so much, I'm kind of forced for it to be different every time because you don't ever have a set place where you're writing. So it's you either like on the plane. I do a lot of stuff on the plane, which is weird because you really have nothing else to do. So you're just forced to put down an idea, which is kind of cool. I get random ideas on the plane. I'll put voice memos into my phone. I'll write stuff down into my phone, like in my notes, or if I have a notebook. Or now I have a MacBook where I have like Logic, like a music production thing on it. So I have like a MIDI keyboard and I'll put down some chords, and I do it in all different ways pretty much. I think it comes to me in random times and places, but.
Right. And I mean, because your experience has sort of been so like unique, it's this sort of, like you said, the one in the million, and you happen to be the one in the million right now.
It's pretty awesome.
Are you keeping track of this like in a journal, or do you just kind of like let life happen?
I definitely do have a journal. I think I don't know. I just love to like look back on it. Even like 3 weeks from now, I'll probably read what was in my journal today and like still be like, oh, I don't even remember that, because you go by so fast, like, and you remember like the big moments, but I like to put down all the little details so you like just have everything vivid, and because it's so easy to go by this life especially so quickly, and you just kind of float by, but
it's constantly stimulating, so you're just taking it in.
You just have to take it in, and sometimes like I'm still catching up to Jimmy Fallon, like I'm still remembering Jimmy Fallon, like, or like catching up to Jimmy Fallon, which was like in July. Sorry. So it's like my brain is trying to catch up to all these things that are happening. So if you write it down and you put down all the details, it's good to like, to feel it again and just have it down, just to remember how you were feeling at that time.
Well, and small details almost make something more real. Like, you're able to see yourself on Jimmy Fallon, but it's like those small things you can read and go, oh, I remember this.
Yeah, I remember feeling like that.
Yeah,
I remember when that happened. I just, it's cool to write little details down.
How's Jimmy Fallon?
He's awesome. The whole show, the whole experience was amazing. Really, really.
What does that look like? So you get there to the Tonight Show.
Yeah, you get there and they give you your green room. So there's a green room and then a dressing room. So the green room was like where my friends and family could stay, and then the dressing room was where I got ready. They're like, this is your space, do whatever. They had brought us like cookies and food, and then Jimmy came by after with like his coffee, all casual, like, hey, good to meet you, like just normal Jimmy Fallon, like just whatever on the street. Yeah, rolls in, so nice. He's so much taller than I thought he was gonna be.
Really?
Cool. Yeah, he's very tall.
Like what? Like 6'1"?
Probably. I think around 6. He's probably like 6 something, right?
You can look it up online.
Yeah, look at it. He's
tall.
Looked about. He's very tall. Yeah, he's very tall. And just really nice, and just saying like how he found my music, and just to relax, not to be nervous, and that was that. Then the next thing I knew, they pull you aside. They're like, okay, 3, 2, 1, action, go on, and then you just go on. That's amazing. Yeah.
I guess lastly, is there anyone that if you could, you would collaborate with? I mean, is there anyone out there that's like your dream collaboration?
There's a couple, because I've just loved
Let's hear
so
about
much
him.
music. Okay, so Drake is a big one.
Yeah.
Drake, I love Drake. I think he's amazing. I would love to do something with him.
Have you talked to him yet? I feel like,
Yes.
Yeah, the proximity I imagine would be.
Yeah, because we're like from the same place.
Canadians.
But, yeah.
Did he reach out? Was he sort of like, has he been following things, or was it like a casual sort of interaction?
Well, we met at a festival in Vancouver. We were both performing, and I guess he knew that I was a fan or something, so he initiated like the meeting, and he was like, hey, I'm a fan of yours too, and it was like an open kind of gesture, like maybe one day we should do something, but it wasn't like I want you to do this and this.
Sure.
It was just like, we should do something. So it's up in the air. I would love to. I think he's amazing. Ed Sheeran is another one. I love Ed Sheeran. If Amy Winehouse were alive, I would love to do something with her.
Have you seen the doc?
Twice, yeah.
Really?
It's
What'd
so
you think?
sad. It's just like, it sucks because it could have been prevented, and that's why it's the worst. Because it's like, that didn't have to happen, So, awful. But it's also a cautionary tale, I think, for me as a new artist coming up, that, to see something like that, where not to go wrong, and it just reminds you to stay focused. So I'm kind of glad I watched it.
It's like a roadmap of what to avoid, or certain.
Essentially, yeah. And it sucks that it had to happen to her, but it's good that other people can learn from it, in a way.
Yeah.
And yeah, who else would I love to work with? Frank Ocean.
He hasn't done anything in a while.
I know,
like.
and I'm on Def Jam too, so you think that they would tell me something, but I'm like always asking, like, so Frank Ocean? No, there's no.
Yeah, any tapes floating around I can listen to? Yeah.
No, I don't even think they know. I think he's just really secretive about it, so I'm excited to hear it, but I'm not on it. I could tell you that. Unfortunately, maybe next time.
Well,
yeah.
All the best in the future. I mean,
Thank you.
This has been amazing, and so happy for your success.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks for your time.
And Jimmy Fallon's 5'11" and a half.
Oh, did you look it up while we were talking?
Mr.
Wow, that's awesome. So he's not
producer,
6?
yeah.
Well, he's just, is it how, I don't know how to show that, but he's pretty tall.
Yeah.
I'm
Taller
6
than you
foot.
think.
He's just under me. Not
Yeah.
You're not better than Jimmy, but I get it. You're taller than him.
Yeah, but you'd think he would be short.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I was surprised. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought he was gonna be so tiny. He's like, I was like, whoa. You're actually tall.
Everyone says Mike looks like Jimmy Fallon.
No, maybe in my younger days,
Right.
but not anymore. Yeah. Anyway.
No, I think you look like him in his younger days.
Oh, okay. I'll take that. I
Yeah,
love
when
Jimmy
he was like
Fallon.
on SNL time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Oh,
Okay.
you do.
That was Alessia Cara. How great was she, guys?
Delightful.
She's good.
Good album too. Actually, I actually listened to the record a bunch, getting ready for that interview, and it's super strong. Check it out.
I can't stop hearing the.
Wild Things or Here.
I don't know the titles, but the one about the party, like I'm at the party and it's no fun. I might be paraphrasing some of the lyrics.
It's called Here. It's like I'll be over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we are in the dessert of the episode. That's exactly what Max likes to call it. We got Shane here. We're going to talk about pop culture. He's an aficionado, movies, music. Shane, what have you been doing? What have you been seeing?
So this weekend, as we talked about earlier, was kind of a bummer weekend for me. Because there was a bachelor party that you guys obviously went on that I didn't go on. And I don't know how cool I can talk about this or if it's okay, but it's honest. So I'll say I was in jeopardy of being laid off from my job. So I chose not to
Spend the money.
play on the safer side of things.
Responsible guy. He's growing
and
up.
I said, no bachelor party. Turns out I didn't get laid off from my job. So I get to keep my job, but still had committed to not going on the bachelor party. So I'm very bummed out. You're doing this bachelor party in Montreal. I'm like the number one like Montreal guy, strippers, drinking, go-karting. It has everything that I'm good at. So all of my friends, like 20 guys went on this trip roughly, 18 to 20 guys. So I don't have one friend that I could even hang out with if I wanted to. So my girlfriend is like, what do you want to do this week? And I was like, let's just go see The Night Before.
Oh, yeah.
Seth Rogen movie.
Because I had suggested in our Champagne Boys Facebook group, Little Rascal group, that we all get drunk and go see The Night Before, which no one responded to because everyone was so amped about going to the bachelor party that I'm just ignored in every regard. So she's like, okay, let's do that. And I'll tell you about that. But last night had kind of an interesting encounter that's worth noting.
Okay.
I went out to eat tacos at Grand Electric.
Okay.
Oh, that's like a hip Toronto place where you got to wait in line. They won't take reservations.
Queen West. Yeah. hip
Yeah,
for
it was a
tacos.
very like Seinfeld or Larry David thing that kind of happened. I walk into Grand Electric, and in a lot of Toronto spots, it's kind of like communal seating. Like even when it's like you get a seat for two, but it's really a table for four.
You're like a picnic table. You got to share the table.
I'm not a huge fan of this seating, but I've kind of become acclimated to it where it's not a huge deal like it was when I first
Yeah, or the
moved to
tables
Toronto.
are just like literally like 1 centimeter apart. So they're like two tables, but they might as well be
Yeah,
one
it's
table.
very close quarters.
Yeah.
So, but I'm cool with it at this point. So, my girlfriend and I are seated in like this like triangle booth. So we're sitting right next to each other. She's like, I'll just let you know, this is a communal booth. Our server says that. I'm like, fine. So I'm just facing my girlfriend, talking to her. Everything's going fine. And then I can tell my girlfriend's not listening to me at all anymore. She's just like zoning out. I'm like, okay, I guess it's gone to that point in the relationship where like, you know, like the first flush where you're not excited anymore. And, but she's like, should I say hi or whatever? And I didn't know what the F she was really talking about because, you know, why would you say hi? And she's like, you didn't see? I was like, what? She's like, they just tried to seat your ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend at our table beside us.
Whoa.
Which is pretty nuts because, you know, I have a habit of not ending on good terms with my girlfriends. It would have been horribly awkward. And
So are you saying that the waitress tried to seat them with you and then
They waved it off.
They waved it off.
And your
like-
girlfriend was seeing this all go down, so she was distracted.
yes, and I was in an angle where I couldn't see what the goings on behind me.
Right.
So I had no clue. But I'm a pretty good passer in basketball, so I've developed good peripheral vision. So she assumed that I could see everything because normally I'm pretty good at that. But when I'm with my girlfriend, I like to zone in, you know, and block out the world because I'm that kind of boyfriend. Kind of.
You're a good dinner
Yeah, I'm a
date.
good boyfriend, bad breaker-upper, as my ex-girlfriend can attest, who hates me. You know, it's pretty hard to get over old Shaney boy, but this girlfriend did it quite well because this guy's a pretty hunky dude. Her new boyfriend, he's 6'5". He could probably like kill me, or it'd be a tie, or he'd beat me in a fight. So I really wouldn't want them sitting next to me. And thank God there was another seat available where they could just sit. But the angle was they're right in our view the whole time.
When they come in, there's no acknowledgement. There's no, oh, hey, how have you been?
No.
So how does your girlfriend even know to say hi to the ex-girlfriend?
They were formerly friends on Instagram.
Oh, I see. So
the second I pop up, they're no longer friends.
Wow.
So what does your girlfriend do? By the way, we're saying your girlfriend because we're trying to keep names out of here.
Of course, name schmames, but let's abide by that rule. So my girlfriend, really wants to be friends
because she's
Instagram
a very
friends.
friendly person. She doesn't want to be at odds with anybody.
Person.
Yeah.
Yes, the friendliest person. So it's a little weird. I have to pee. I wait till a person is walking by downstairs. I quickly run beside that person and kind of like shadow them so they can't see me. And then
You use the person as a screen?
yes, and I walked downstairs and called Mike and had a half-hour conversation and basically waited for my ex-girlfriend and her boyfriend to leave.
It's true.
So your girlfriend had to sit at the table by herself, defending herself.
Yeah,
basically?
it wasn't the most noble moment of my life. And while I'm talking to Mike on the phone, my phone's buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. And I know she's texting me a million times. So it was like, first it was like the poo emoji. And then it was like, seriously, where the fuck are you? Then it's like, it's been 15 minutes. Has your ex-girlfriend's boyfriend kicked the shit out of you? And then it's like, what do I do? Do I leave? And then, but I went back and luckily they were gone. And then we had another beer, ate the tacos, the ice cold tacos at that point, and left.
Was your girlfriend angry for you hiding out in the basement, talking on the phone?
She's the nicest person I've ever met in my life. And again, this could be that phony shit where you're not truly yourself in the first 3 months. So she may not actually be that nice always, but right now she's the nicest person I've ever met. But yeah, so that was just what happened last night. As for this weekend, as you guys know,
You missed the bachelor party.
missed the bachelor party. I'm pretty down. My girlfriend says, "What do you want to do tonight?" She can sense that I'm kind of down. So she's like, "Hey, let's make this a bachelor party for you. Like, let's have like a,
That's nice.
two of
That's
us."
amazing.
What a sweet girl.
She really is the nicest person.
Love this person. So I'm down for that. I put on my Hawaiian shirt. I've got this because I want to get in. Like, I'm not just gonna wear like my cool guy clothes. So I get in my Hawaiian shirt,
Yeah.
Your fun guy shirt.
You're fun.
my
guy.
fun guy party shirt, and it looks kind of cool. So I'm kind of like, oh, this looks kind of ironic, cool, whatever. So I'm like, oh, what should we do? So my girlfriend suggests a strip club.
Oh, okay. Has she been to a strip club before?
No, she had not.
Okay.
So she doesn't know what it's like, basically. And I'm all down to go to a strip club if it's just the fellas and it's a bachelor party, whatever. But it could be kind of weird with my girlfriend, admittedly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever, I'll indulge her in this sick fantasy that she has. Hey, I'm a good boyfriend. I'm willing to play ball.
Coming from the guy who hid in a bathroom for 15 minutes.
Yeah. This I am willing to be noble about. So we get to the club. She goes, she buys me some drinks. And I can tell she's dissatisfied a little bit with the price of the drinks because it's like $25 for 2 drinks.
Sure, yeah.
And it's kind of a seedier atmosphere than I maybe would have typically liked. You know me, all class, Shane, they call me. It's not the catchiest nickname, but it's deadly accurate. And then, I'm like, babe, let's get out of here.
Just like that.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You're like a knight in shining armor.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
like, hey, let's face it, you're the hottest chick here, which she is. Yeah. That's not a lie.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's get out of here. Let's go see the movie or whatever.
But it was nice of her that she wanted to give you this bachelor experience.
But I still want to keep. I'm not like the bachelor experience is over because that was kind of just going there is kind of worth the price of admission. It's just fun.
Yeah.
To say you did it with the girlfriend, it's kind of interesting experience. But I'm like, I'm just gonna go to get some weed cookies, and she's against that. Like, she's not down with that. So I'm like,
But you're like, this is my bachelor
yeah,
trip.
this
Do
is
not
my
ruin my bachelor
This
trip.
is my bachelor party. Daddy's gonna do what Daddy's gonna do. So I give her some money and tell her to go to the.
So you've left her at a restaurant. She's your drug
I'm not
runner.
gonna be long.
No, you haven't given her money to go get you drugs. You give her money to go do something else.
Oh, I'm picking up the drugs.
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah,
giving
Max
her the
gotta
money to.
And when I
pick
say
the
drugs, like, this is fairly tame stuff. Like,
Yeah.
this is weed
This
cookies.
is stuff, Prime Minister Trudeau is doing them every weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to be completely legal
Yeah, and by the way, how often would you say you even smoke weed, Shane?
every other day. No, I'm kidding. No, I would say maybe once a month.
Yeah, so you're not like a stoner per se. This is a special occasion.
Not that there's anything wrong with
Not that
that.
there's anything wrong
And most
with
people go home and have 3 glasses of wine afterwards.
That's true.
It's true. I know I do. But
I'm drunk right now.
3, 6, who's counting? My sponsor is. No. But so I send her just to the movie, give her money, get the tickets. I'm like, I'll be 10 minutes tops. I go to this place. It's a comedy club, but you have to pay the $5 admission, act like you're seeing the comedy club, dipsy doodle out, buy the weed cookies, and just go.
Okay.
But I get there, there's no comedy show that night. And the comedians are just kind of sitting there like, nobody showed up. I'm like, I kind of, I wanted to buy the weed cookies, but the little loophole in the law is you got to buy admission. So I'm like, hey, can I just buy a Pabst Blue Ribbon? And then I give her like $10. And then she's like, her name's Puff Mama. So,
How do you know that?
I asked her name.
And she said Puff Mama?
Yeah, birth certificate and everything. Her parents had amazing foresight into what career she would be headed to. And she's like, oh, here are some free cookies. Because,
So hold on, is the password Pabst Blue Ribbon and you slide $10? Is that
in
like a
this
known
case,
thing?
yes.
Okay.
Normally you just say, I'll have some weed cookies after the admission.
Okay.
She's like very nice woman, this woman. So she gives me 3 cookies for free. They're all stale and shit. So I assume that they're going to be bad cookies. They're not going to, I don't know a lot about weed cookies. So I just eat all 3 of them. So then I go meet up with my girlfriend at the movies after I've already eaten the cookies, feeling kind of f***ed up, but pretty good on the good side. The second the movie starts.
What movie were you seeing?
The night before.
Oh, okay.
Right.
New Seth Rogen movie.
Yes, which is kind of a druggy movie in itself. And then the second the movie kicked in, I was like on Mars. Like, I was out of my mind. It was like the best, worst feeling. Like, I felt weird to be alive. I wasn't completely sure if I was alive. I was just like touching my girlfriend way too much and
Petting her hair.
trying to make out with her throughout the whole movie. And I went to the washroom, and then I got scared to go to the washroom. So I was like, will you come with me? And then she's like, what? And she like held my hand, and we walked out because every stare felt weird too. Like, I couldn't tell if my legs were moving properly. So she walked me to the washroom. But it's like, it just felt very weird. It was a very uncomfortable night. My tummy kind of hurt.
Did you say that to her? My tummy's gonna hurt.
No, I was like, my ripped abs are killing me. Let's get out of here. And then we went home. I passed out, and I have little to no recollection of the movie the night before.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give the night before?
I couldn't tell you.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give the weed cookies?
Oh my God, they were a 20 out of 10. Like, they'll ruin your life. Depending on your tolerance, it could make your life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say this weekend we all use the night before as like a little pre-drink, and we actually enjoy the movie together, guys.
And then maybe on the next episode, Josh Jackson will be the next episode.
Yeah.
We come back, and the movie we review is the night before.
Let's do that.
Deal.
Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, as Max likes to tell our listeners. All the artwork for the Mike and Watch podcast is done by...
Jenna Gregory. You can find her stuff at jennasdoodles.com.
You can follow us.
Oh, yeah. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
At Mike on Much.
Yep, those things.
Both those handles.
If you like an episode, post the YouTube on your Facebook.
Yeah, let's get crazy.
Do that. Come on.
The Mike and Much podcast is produced by Max Kerman, and I am your host, Mike Vierman, and Shane is sitting to my left.
Goodbye.
See you next week if we don't die on the weekend.